You think that your age is a liability. It's not. And what most people don't even understand is that your age is one of the greatest advantages that you don't even understand right now. You know, every mistake that you have made is something that gives you more growth as a person and to learn who you are. And every failure that you have is actually proof that you actually know how to handle pressure. Every woman that you have seen, every woman that you have dated, every woman that you have lost is evidence that you understand what's worth keeping. Young men are trying to figure out what they are at this point in time. And women feel that difference the moment that they meet a person like you. And as I said before, it's so beautiful because if you look at the world, man, this is why I always tell you guys, going towards 55 is a great thing. I love being old and going towards 55. And I want to let most of you guys out here that most older men are always sometimes apologizing for their age. They think that they actually think they're competing against younger guys, and they're not. And I don't think young men understand that, man. What's going on is it's the older men are playing a totally different type of game, okay? And that's what I want to talk about. Okay, yes, younger men can stroke better than us older heads. They're like jackrabbits, absolutely. But just because they're jackrabbits doesn't mean anything, guys. These young kids have all kind of energy. We're not going to take that from them, okay? But the one thing I want to talk to you about is you have direction, okay? Younger men are still becoming, okay? You're already built. And that's not a disadvantage, okay? That is a completed, beautiful product, man. It is a beautiful product. And as I'm talking to a lot of you older guys that are coming close to that iceberg called a midlife crisis, I want to do everything I can to prevent you from running into that wall that's going to slow you down. See, I always tell you that your age is fine no matter how old you are. But this is a thing that younger men will never understand, okay? Women don't actually want potential. They want results. That's it. They don't want to wait while some young guy tries to figure himself out, and that doesn't make anything wrong with young men out there. They want a man who's already figured out, and that man is you, man. Every war wound that you have, and every scar, and every failure, every lesson or every scar, wound, and things that you have is kind of like a lesson that you've learned the hard way. And that's your resume. You're the white hairs on your beard, the white hairs in your hair. It's a lesson. I never, ever, and it bothers me so bad, I never want any of you guys out here to sit around and color your hair, dye your hair because you feel that I don't have a chance with younger women because I'm old. That's not true, man. See, guys, what y'all understand is that a younger man can walk into a room trying to impress a woman, which is true. But you know what? An older man walks into the room already impressed. And that's the difference. It's in the energy, okay? Because his confidence, okay, and who he is have been earned through decades and decades, gentlemen, of experience. You know, the experience just in this alone just reads a room completely different, okay? And that's the thing for you older guys out there. That's what women can feel about you. See, by the end of this video, guys, all right, you're going to stop seeing your age as a deficit, man. And hopefully, if you can just trust your boy here, you're going to understand that right now we're in the halfway point of a new year. You're getting a little bit older. Me, I can't wait to get to 55, man. I look forward to 55. But what I'm saying to you all, you guys out here, is that, man, what's so beautiful is every mistake that you have made, okay? Every time you've gotten in and out of situations, every woman, every situation, guys, that's not baggage. That's your sexual currency. That's your proof. That's the thing that is going to make you more attractive than men half your age. Because I want to tell all you older guys, your age is not the enemy. It will never be the enemy. Because, gentlemen, emotions don't care. Why do you think the young women that are legal mess with the professors and the older men? Why do you think women, even in, I'll go to high school to give y'all an understanding, because y'all should understand. Why do you think the freshman girls wanted to talk to the sophomore or the juniors? Because they were older and a little more mature than the guys their age. It's always been that way, man. Age is not your enemy, okay? What the enemy is, unfortunately, is your insecurity about your age is the enemy. Man, I've come to terms, okay? I'm fine. I can tell you, I'm 5'7". I'm almost 55. I have a dad bod, and I cannot stroke like those young whippersnappers. I'm calling them young whippersnappers. I can't stroke like them anymore. I'm old, man. I can't go 4 or 5 times, man. I can't do it, and that's the truth. But gentlemen, do you see how secure I'm saying what I'm saying? I'm not worried about competing against somebody else. But see, your insecurity, guys, is the enemy. And most of y'all don't understand, man. Women love men like me that believe in ourselves, because there's so many things that we can show women out there, you know what I mean? And I get it, man. See, this message that I'm telling you guys is not about competing against anybody. I don't want you to compete with older men, and I don't want you to compete with younger men. I don't want you to compete with men at all, okay? You can't hang with younger kids, okay? It's just what it is. It's fine, okay? But what I'm saying is, if you're trying to compete, that is a loser's game, because you can never be younger again. No matter how many little cars that you want to get, in sports cars, and trying to do things to try to feel young. It's just, you have to come to terms that, you know what, we are all going to get old, okay? And as long as you're not thinking about and believing yourself, that's why a lot of guys are going to lose in this. So what I'm saying is, that's not the game you're actually playing when it comes to all this. The game that you are playing in all of this is who you are right now. It's certainty. It's knowing what I am. It's ability to stand on my square and say, okay, oh, Steve, hey, look, I'm old. I'll be 55. I got gray hair. I have a dad bod. My cardio is not as great when I was young, when I was what they call a young whippersnapper. It's just not, but that's not what I'm saying to you guys out there. I need y'all to put 100 in the chat if you understand where I'm coming from, okay? Because the thing is, we've been through it all. We've been through ups and downs as men. That's what makes us what we are, gentlemen, okay? And that's where the power comes from, is actually knowing who you are. It's saying that this is who I am, this is what I am, and I have so much knowledge on myself that I understand me. And see, what most guys don't understand, an open loop older man is insecure about his age, and that's where you have the midlife crisis. And I want to talk to a lot of you young men in your 30s and going into your 40s. There's an iceberg called a midlife crisis, because you stop living. You stop enjoying life. Man, at 54, I still watch cartoons. I still watch video games. I watch zombie movies. I'm a huge zombie fan. I watch vampire movies. I'm a geek. I'm a big ass kid. I enjoy life, and what makes me feel young is how I feel about myself, okay? But I don't want any of all you guys out here worried about what you are. Don't hide the gray hair. Please don't hide the gray hair, okay? Don't try to work obsessively to try to look young. Stop trying to dress like somebody your age to try to fit in, okay? Okay? Because if you guys are doing that, unfortunately, that means you're actually competing in the wrong arena. Okay? You're playing a game that you cannot win. And a woman can feel that kind of desperation in you. Okay? And I'm telling you, you can win with women. Yes, I know you think it's crazy. You're telling me I can get a 20-year-old, a 30, and a 40? Oh, absolutely. You know, I always tell you, one of my best students, I met at 49 years old. All he was dating was 52-year-old women and 51-year-old women. He got in the game. He got into the game, and everything changed for him. His first phone call after he really started to learn the game was he was just surprised. He was in the mall, and he met a college chick that was 24 years old. He's like, oh my God, what do I do? And I had to calm him down. I said, it's okay. This is part of it. You're going to attract all kinds of women because of how you make them feel. And he was like shocked. Oh my God. She didn't care about my gray beard. She didn't care about my wrinkles. She rubbed my face, kissed me on my cheek, told me how much she cared about me. I said, that's the game right there. That's what all this is about. Women recognizing the beauty, depth, and range that you have as an individual. And I'm always trying to tell you guys, stop trying to compete with younger men. You don't need to dress younger, act younger, and all this other stuff, okay? See, a person that has the closed loop in the game, an individual who feels that way, I own my age completely. I don't hide it. I always tell you guys, I'm 50. I'll be 55 in August. I'm fine with that. I've got a dad bod. I'm fine with that. And my stroke game, which is still good, but I can't compete against these young kids in the stroke game. I'm not in my teens anymore, in my 20s anymore, my 30s. I'm in my 50s, and I'm fine with what I can do for myself. And I'm not ashamed to say that to you young men, because I'm trying to tell you, if I'm not ashamed and I got game, why should you be ashamed? You shouldn't be, okay? I'm never gonna hide who I am, and I'm never gonna apologize for who I am, guys, okay? I understand this, man, is that, look, my age, I have a very competitive advantage, okay? The gray hairs that I have is proof that, guess what? have survived. Every scar that I have on my body's evidence is that I know how to handle pressure. All right, you know, they always say pressure busts pipes, but I know how to handle pressure. And women are actually drawn into men like that, okay? Despite my age, but because of my age, okay? And here's what young men haven't learned yet for you guys out here. Women don't want boys who's actually trying to figure themselves out. They want a man who's already figured it out. And that's why the game is so important, okay? And you know who you are and what you are and what you are about, okay? If you learn the game, you'll learn your worth. And you know what's real, and you'll know what's bullshit. And you know, guess what? Most of you guys have been lied to and lying to yourself so much, you should be able to recognize that immediately, okay? You've been betrayed enough times by a lot of things in your life to actually have some kind of a boundary. And you failed enough times to know that failure isn't the end of everything. And gentlemen, that's the real advantage that these young whippersnappers don't know, all right? That is the advantage that you have. You have wisdom. I have sexual wisdom. And wisdom is worth more, okay, than a young man trying to figure his life out, man. One thought, one mind, one way. You see, a man who has experience and a man who knows himself has an identity. Okay, I don't have to prove anything to anybody. Okay, I've done all the work. I've been doing this work since I was 9 years old, and I still have more work to do. And that's what's so exciting about this. I love my life. I enjoy it, everything, okay? And I get it for many of you guys as you're going towards that iceberg called a midlife crisis because you felt like you've never lived your life, okay? I get it. You're probably remembering what it means being young, okay? How uncertain that things felt. Remember, there was a time in your life where you thought you wasn't good enough. Remember, there was a time in your life where you were trying to impress everybody, okay? And there was anxiety asking that woman to the prom or asking her out on a date. You have gone through all that. You've gone through the whole entire gauntlet, and look how you came out. You came out perfect. Look at you. You should be proud of yourself. You should know that you stand to the test of time, okay? A lot of young men are going through that right now, and I have messages for them, but I also have messages for you guys out there that's in your 30, 35, going towards 40 in that midlife crisis or past 40 years old. There's you. You've lived through the phase. You've already made the mistakes. You've already failed, but you survived the failure. You've already learned what actually matters to you and what doesn't. Because at a young age, you don't know anything. You're just learning and finding yourself and going through things, okay? And you've already been through enough heartbreaks and things like that to realize what actually defines you. My job is to make sure that we keep you centered in the game, okay? And it's not a burden that you're carrying anymore, man. You have freedom, and freedom is real power. When you are a free thinking man, one thought, one mind, one way, everything changes, and women can feel the difference immediately, okay? See, a lot of these young men out here, they're just always going to do one thing. They're always going to ask for permission to be worthy to a woman. And an older man, when you have the game, you've already decided who you are. And there's nothing more attractive, gentlemen, to a woman than a man who doesn't need validation. And he's okay with himself, okay with his body, okay with the grays in his hair, okay that his stroke game is not as good as the next person. He is okay with himself. He believes in himself. He loves himself. He appreciates himself. And because of that, the connection that you have is the gift that you can give a woman. You can always educate her, and you can always elevate her, and you can show her depth and range in ways a young man can't. Well, okay, don't get it wrong. There are young men out there that have game. You have the young taekwondos of the world, young men that have the game. I remember I can see myself in a taekwondo when he was young, but I promise you, when Ty gets my age, he's gonna see me in him. It's just how the game goes. That's why the game is so beautiful, especially with women, okay? The invitation here, okay, which is very important, okay, is to stop seeing your age as something that you have to overcome. You don't have to overcome yourself, okay? I never want you to ever feel that you're in a position that you have to overcome something. You don't need to overcome anything, okay? You just got to start seeing yourself as a better and a greater asset, okay? Because the man that you are right now, okay? You're a person who has learned from decades of living, and that's the truth. I'm not here to make you feel better. I'm here to lace you with this game and let you know this is what it is. This is why the world is beautiful for us, okay? What I say for all you guys out there that are starting to feel your age, you're starting to feel a few aches, you're starting to feel a little bit of pain, you're starting to feel that, man, it's a little bit harder for me to get up now, it's a little hard for me not to get up now. It's a little harder for me to get out of the bed, man, without feeling a ache and a pain or something like that. That's okay, man. All right. What I'm saying to you young men out here is that your age is the greatest advantage, okay? And if your age is the greatest advantage, why would you compete against other men? All right? Because here's what's about to change in you. For the next few minutes, you're going to stop apologizing for being older. You're going to understand the specific advantages that your age can give you, okay? And you're going to realize your past is your past, and those would make you the man you are today. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less, gentlemen. That's it. That's what I'm saying. While all these young men are out here trying to figure out their lives, trying to figure it out, you got yourself on lock, okay? You're not playing games because you learned that games don't work anymore. You're not performing because you learn performances that are fake or going to collapse under a woman's sexuality and how she looks, okay? You lived enough to know that your time is valuable. You're a valuable asset, okay? A lot of young men don't see the value of themselves because they're still trying to figure out their lives. They're trying to figure out right now, where do I fit in this world? You know what I mean? You know, bills and everything under the sun, okay? But see, you understand the young men who are not even in the game and trying to learn the game, their confidence sometimes is going to be borrowed. Yes, they're going to wear outfits and trends and all that other stuff. What I'm saying is you guys have decades of evidence, okay? You do that. Now you can lead, and a woman can feel that difference between a man who has confidence in himself and an individual who is just trying to learn and trying to understand himself under the construct. That's the beautiful thing about the game, man. These young guys, with all due respect, they just don't understand, okay, risks in life and things that you have to. You've already taken the risk. You've already had the wounds. But just because you have a gray on your face, hey, in your hair, or on, no disrespect, your nutsack, that's just what it is. You cannot run from that beautiful gray hair. That beautiful gray hair is wisdom. That beautiful gray hair is saying, this is who I am right now, okay? And women know this. Women love this, and women like to be a part of men who act and think this way, okay? I just want you guys to realize that at the end of the day, when it comes to this game, okay, you're getting older, but being older is not a bad thing. I'm just saying to you, I know some of you guys are going and feeling you've wasted your time away, and that's true. It's okay, you waste your time away, but that doesn't mean anything. I'm just saying at the end of the day that don't apologize for your gray hair. Don't apologize for the wrinkles on your face, okay? You've been through war and everything, okay? And that is what I'm saying. Yes, man, you're about to get a new batch of women. And yes, man, these women are going to experience and experiment, right? In August, we'll discuss that, but man, you don't understand. Younger women are going to want to be about you because of the depth and range and the way that you can educate them, unlike a regular guy can, okay, guys? And gentlemen, if you are feeling old and you feel that iceberg, or you feel that the midlife crisis is coming to you, guys, I'm going to shock you. You don't have to have a midlife crisis. Face the iceberg head on and run right through it. Be proud of yourself. Appreciate yourself. We all gonna get old, man. It's just, what are you going to feel about yourself in that process is going to be the determination between a midlife crisis and a person that is fine with the wrinkles on his skin and the grays in his hair. Because you are nothing but wisdom. And women love older men. I didn't say all women, but most women haven't tried an older man. But when you try it, hey, why do you think they like vintage wines and things like that? Things that have age, because age has depth, age has range, gentlemen. And I just want you guys, in the exercise before I let you go, please look in the mirror. Please rub your face, rub the wrinkles, touch the gray hairs and all that, and smile. You know, touch your chest. It might be flabby and whatever it is. They don't care. I'm telling you, they don't care. I am telling you, you can get this game, man. Soak up what I'm saying. And if you understand what I'm saying and you feel your age is coming down on you, and you're ready to turn things around, put 100 in. Don't be ashamed of who you are, man. I'm telling you, I'm not. I'm proud. I can't wait. I love being uncle in old school. Man, when I was young, real quick, when I was young, I can't wait to be unk. I can't wait to be unk, man. Like, I can't wait. This moment right here, me being your uncle, not your dad, I'm your uncle. Me being your uncle and you're my nephews, man, this is what I live for. To be able to hand and pass down the baton of game and wisdom to you young men. So when I'm no longer here, because my body has done everything it's needed to do on this planet and it's time for me to go, that I have left you guys with enough information to move on to the next generation when you become unk to these other next young men who are not even here yet. The ones that you're about to help and the ones that you're about to talk to, they're not even on this planet yet. But when they get here, it's going to be up to you to show them the things that I'm showing you right now. Guys, I appreciate you, man. Please just appreciate yourself. Sorry for going long, but I'm really passionate about things like this. I love my age and I'm not ashamed of it. You shouldn't either. Until then, we'll talk to you soon.